everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about chemical sprays in agriculture called neonicotinoids. There is a lot of controversy over the neonicotinoids in the last few years, and I've been studying up and doing some research on them. And the research is a huge eye-opener to any beekeeper, any person interested in pollinators, anyone in the agricultural field, anyone interested in the life cycles of insects and the effects of industrial farming on your poor defenseless honeybees. And this is why we are talking about sprays in agriculture today. So there's weed control, there's herbicides, pesticides, anything you can think of for a crop, for a garden. And then right there, those are those little itty bitty beehives. They're far away from me right now. But all those dead bees I saw the other day really got me to wondering about the effects of these sprays on the bees. Now, I had heard several years ago about a lot of plants that were organically grown, like Bonnie plants and Miracle-Gro plants from garden centers, not being treated with these neonicotinoids. So if you wanted these organic plants so that you weren't introducing any chemicals to your garden and preventing any problems to the bees, you could go that route. But in this case, we are west of the bees, and the breeze generally comes from the west. It's kind of coming from the south right now. So hopefully these aren't going to be affecting my own bees. But everything that he's spraying in this light breeze is blowing across the road to us. And anytime anything like this is ever going on, we always make sure that the kids are inside. I don't care what anybody says. These are my kids. This is my health. And we tend to kind of hunker down when they're out there spraying if there's any wind. You are not supposed to be spraying with breezes and winds because it's all floating away. Now, they can only get that boom so low to the ground. That's as low as it's going to go. So, of course, it is going to have an overcast spray effect and can be blown away. We watch a lot of documentaries on farming and farming histories, and it never ceases to amaze me how many farmers turn up with cancer. And of course, they never say like what kind of cancer they get, but they are so directly exposed at such a high rate to these chemicals. And you know, my mom was a hairdresser. The same thing was true in the field for cosmetology, that so many hairdressers were getting cancer and getting sick. You cannot tell me that the chemicals that these people are using is not affecting their health. Okay, so out of curiosity, since that sprayer was by, I wanted to see what was going on with the bees. Now, I got in a comment from a viewer that you can lose about 40% of bees in a pollination contract because of the sprays from the farms. Well, if you did that, the queen cannot keep up with replacing that hive to keep getting it strong, because it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to go from an egg to a working active bee. And they have a short life, so their wings get wore out. Now, this was all harvested about 4 or 5 days ago, and that was just about a week after they sprayed. And right up in here, they harvested yesterday. So let's see what's going on with the bees. A lot of activity going on. And like this particular hive over here, they have a lot of damage to their hive and they're flying around a lot. So we're kind of keeping our distance because of the harvest. There's not a whole lot of flowers for them. And basically that can cause what's called a dearth, D-E-R-T-H, and make them much more defensive. So because there's a lot more activity, we definitely want to be careful here. But you see, Like this is a patch. They didn't want to get too close to the bees and they missed that one. But the ground in general has a good scattering of dead bees. Now I really wanted to get out here a day or two after, but see, like here, this is just an absolute strip of dead bees coming out of there. Just terrible to see. And if you know about bees and propolis, it's like bee glue. They try to block any weather coming in and any light coming in. So like I'd shown an up close of these two hives here, because they had the pink splats on them. And there's not a lot more dead bees on that colony over there. But there's definitely a lot of activity going on. So I wouldn't say that the bee spray affected them a whole lot. That maybe the initial, maybe the initial spray kind of shocked them. But these hives here, there's a lot of dead bees, and I actually found out that the pollen from the flowers that was sprayed is what actually can contaminate the hive. And that's why, like on this hive, there's pollen down there that they kicked out. They must have been able to sense that after the fact and pulled it out. So they're doing their own house cleaning. But we definitely wanted to get over here and see what was going on with them, because now that they have had the crop harvested, the actual beekeeper and his truck company will show up here, and it could even be tonight. They're gonna come and wrap these up and button them up. And they usually do it by headlights and lantern and get them all out of here and on to their next destination. We're at the end of the growing season here in Michigan. Harvest is starting all over the place. You can see the corn here. Still got some time to go on that. But this is about it for the short-term crops. We're doing hay ourselves. So I'm sure these bees are going to be heading over there because their water source is right over there. There's a lot of water in this low spot here, and the bees are getting a lot of water from there right now. They just, I keep getting in their path. I keep feeling them tap me on the shoulder. So definitely something to consider. I've thought about it, and I think doing pollination hives would not be worth the risk, because you get 100% success rate in selling bees that are nucleus hives instead of losing 40% and ending back at the size of a hive of a nucleus hive. So I think that's the route I'm gonna go. So feel free to carry on your research about learning about these bees and the sprays and what you can do. Woo! Piss. Those bees were getting defensive. It was time for me to get out of there. I let out a scream. He came and tapped me back on the shoulder and went for my ear and my hair. And I tell you, I've had them caught in my hair in a braid before, and that is the worst. They just bury themselves further into your scalp until they're just stinging the heck out of you. And of course, they can only sting once. It's not like a hornet, but man. Come on. So they start stinging, and a pheromone goes off to tell all the others to come and attack too. So it was time to get out of there. I got Jack and the baby with me. We're gonna go back and we're gonna start unloading some more hay. But like I was saying, add to the discussion in the comments down below. Do your own research. Be aware of what you're using to treat your crops and your gardens. Always be thinking about the future of your bees, the future of your land, the future of the land that you're leaving behind for future generations. So that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, so that you'll know when the next video comes out. Hit that notification bell, and it will send you an email so that you know when the next video has arrived. Bye-bye.